Very excited to be doing this, by the way, guys. We are going to be putting together a brand new Ducati Hypermotard RVE 698 Quadro Mono, okay? Very excited for this motorcycle, and we're going to take a quick look here on the Ducati website. They have themselves a bevy of motorcycles to pick from. For you guys that know that you're a part of the channel, you know most of these bikes I already own. Might as well try to add another one if possible, but let's take a quick look at the Hypermotard 698 Mono RVE. Let's watch this quick clip. Basically showing you fun, what it's meant for, the purpose, meaning, you know, hanging out, doing wheelies, stoppies, stuff like that. They already have a model for it: live, play, and ride. And in the beginning, I thought to myself, why did they call this a Hypermotard, since we already have a Hypermotard already? But they kept the moniker Hypermotard 698 Mono, guys. I think it's because Hypermotard already has a brand, a making, a style, something that most Ducatistas tend to be in tune with, and they're more likely to sell more of those bikes. I don't know if these kids will be able to afford this bike, in my personal opinion, but that's the marketing that they went with. Let's go and build ourselves one of these Hypermotard RVEs, boys. By the way, let me know if you're one of the people that's purchasing one of these bikes. I'd love to know. Comment down below in the description. Are you going to get a Hypermotard 698 Mono RVE, or are you getting the 698 Mono only without the RVE? All right, so let's configure. Attention, gives you a warning what's happening. Okay, this is what you're going to get, boys, with the Ducati Hypermotard 698 Mono RVE. I am super stoked for this bike. This is going to be the bike to have. I'm going to tell you now, for 2024, this is what the bike is going to be. You know, this is going to be the it bike, the it factor, in my personal opinion. Let's take a quick look at a couple more snapshots here. Really, really cool. Single cylinder bike. Dual swing arm, not a typical thing with Ducati. You have dual exhaust up top. The front end of it, headlight, is very reminiscent of the 950 SP. We have a single disc caliper in the front. You have a single in the back as well. They're all both going to be Brembo. You have some magnesium bits up here. Dual shotgun exhaust in the back. Really, really dope. Let's start building this little bad boy. This is the standard livery. It's going to start you off at $14,495. For me, some of the essentials that we're going to need. I'm going to start with the exhaust. Ooh, really, really nice. That's going to be $2,900 added if you're going to add the exhaust, okay? There's a few things that come with the exhaust that's very interesting as well. It does come with an up map that allows you to do a few really, really cool things to your bike, meaning a setup for doing wheelies, a control wheelies. But if you don't know how to wheelie, it's going to be great for you. But if you already do know how to wheelie, it's not something you're going to have to trouble yourself with. I'm going to take a look at some of the carbon fiber bits here. I'm not going to add any of those. This bike is more of a beater for me to use and just add fun with it. We're going to add a skid plate though for sure, but most likely I'm going to upgrade this belly pan protective plate to an Evotech Performance version as well. Gonna close that. So we've added that. Let's close the carbon fiber bits. And the amount of money is slowly racking up, guys. We're currently at $14,515. That's before tax, shipping, and prep, if you don't know. Let's see special materials. Let's see if we should add any of these guys here. You guys know I'm pretty fancy when it comes to these bikes. I like to kind of have everything to be premium. You know, I do like some reservoir brake fluids. I think those would be kind of cool here. These are by Rizoma. You would also need the bracket for them, but I think this is something I could hold out on. It's not something that's an absolute need, in my opinion. So let's move down to chassis and brake system. For sure, I am going to need the swing arm slider. You should always have those things on your bike. And then let's move on down here. Let's see, swing arm cover. I got that. That's on here. Clutch and brake lever. That stuff I could hold out on as well. And then we're going to go to the fork slider, which you should have as well. I'm sure you're going to need some kind of engine protection, a slider as well on that bike, which I would probably recommend. And turn signals. Those things are definitely going to be a must. but I think I could hold out on it. I don't have to wait for that. I do plan to ride this motorcycle, not of all of my bikes or anything like that. I usually ride in the winter. I do plan to use the bike and have fun with it, even though it's cold. So let's throw in that heated grips too. All right, there we go. Ducati Really Control. That's a software mod. For me, if I wasn't as far into my wheelie journey, I'd probably add this. I'm already pretty good with wheelies. I could control it on my own without having a system, so I won't need to add that. But I do love the fact that it gives you an option where you can add something like this that might need help for it. Now, the lower seat's another thing I think we want to keep in mind. This bike is really tall, almost as tall as my Ducati Hypermotard SP. A lower seat will definitely come into play. I don't know if I'm going to keep that as part of my purchase because I really like the design of the actual OEM RVE seat cover. But for now, let's throw that one on for now and see. One thing I would have loved to see that Ducati do would give you the option, right? Let's say when you're purchasing the bike brand new, you have it and you're ready to go, for you to choose. So let's say if you wanted to be the lower seat, they'll make the OEM seat the lower seat. Or if you wanted the race seat to be the stock seat that you're purchasing, make that the stock seat. Instead of selling you a second seat where you have the OEM seat and then you have a second seat. Nobody really needs two seats back and forth. I think that's kind of silly, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. That's what happens when you buy a Ducati. You end up having multiple, which you probably sell down the line, kind of thing. Let's see what else we can add on here. Let's see, sundry accessory. That's for a cover. I do have a garage, so I won't need that. So at this point, guys, we're at $18,782.13. You know, it's racking up really quickly. And the bikes that we'll be looking at here in terms of competition, what's going to be the competitor in terms of this bike itself, we're talking about 698 mono, right? This is it right here. And then we have a Supermoto by Husqvarna 701. We have then the 690 by KTM. The gas would be in that field. Those bikes all lands in the price range of 12 to 13,000. So we are pretty high on that bracket at this point. I think this bike is more based for a specific crowd. Let's say if you're already in the Ducati lifestyle and you already own some Ducatis and you feel like you want to add something like this. And that doesn't end with the $18,782.13 because you're going to probably do bar and mirrors, at least somebody like me. I'm going to remove the tail tidy. Of course, that's an added couple of more stuff, maybe carbon fiber bits and stuff. And that's probably going to increase you. So by the time you walk out the dealership, you'd probably be looking at, you know, maybe 21,000 with tax, freight, and prep and everything else. So you'd be at a really decent size. Oh, they even have apparel, boys, for you guys that are extra fancy. For me, that's more than good enough. So this is it right here. This would be my order place, and quite a hefty one, guys. Ducati Hypermotard 698 Mono RVE. This is a 2024 bike. Very excited for this motorcycle, and for you guys that are excited for it, that are going to grab this yourself, and if you're going to get pretty much most of the stuff that I have here, you're going to be roughly, you know, if we round it off, it's going to be like 19,000 before taxes and freight and prep and everything else. So it's going to be up there. This is a premium version of this bike, and yeah. Let's just save it to our Ducati or send it to the dealership, baby. We'll let you guys figure this out or figure if I did send it. All right, long time. Let's take a look at some clips of the bike and see how it looks like, how it performs, the engine, the build. I didn't talk about how the engine was derived from a 1299 that was split to a single cylinder, but there's so much. I'll be doing a few more videos regarding this bike. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
I hit record a drop, you can't ignore it. I'm transforming now these cars and planes, I'm always boarding. Just out touring down in Charlotte like I play for Hornets. When I'm performing, never boring, now you can't afford it. Champagne Perrier, finish friends on my face. Looking like I'm from the D. D's no Cartiers. Pockets deep, 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 bro. I can make it in my seat, bro. Do you, I'm doing me, bro. Making noise, use a beat, bro. Whoa, I press the button and the doors go off like, whoa. That money clip us now, the new now looks like, whoa. Upgrade her diamonds, now her girlfriends are like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Neighborhood on the scene, neighborhood on the strip. Neighborhood be the name, neighborhood no crib. Neighborhood that's me, neighborhood that's Nick. Neighborhood do the dance, neighborhood do the dip. Okay, thought I'd never make it like no way. I'm the real deal.